السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. This is Dr. Tariq Rashid, our program Spirit of Values. We are in this episode from Archaeological Museum in Sharjah. Today in this episode we will discuss the importance of coaching as a very main important skill managers and leaders can apply with their team members in order to promote lots of values. So let's start with the question, what is coaching? What is the importance of coaching? What skills do coaches practice in order to promote the application of values in their departments or societies? Now, coaching is actually related to the energy level inside each one of us. Hidden there inside anyone is a level of energy which is usually, if we can find the chance to invest in this energy, we can achieve lots of issues. Coaches will help all people, all team members in order to explore this high level of energy. Let's imagine the following situation. We have a small boy, 7 years old, getting back from school at 3 p.m., from entering the home, handling this type of bags, which is heavy loads with books, and his mother tell him, hey, Ahmed, we will start for the exam of tomorrow of math, we need to study. Just take quickly your lunch and we will start studying. What will happen with Ahmed in such situation? So in this situation, for sure, Ahmed will feel depression, lack of desire to achieve the result. But let's see if his mother, once he entered the home after getting back from school, and she told him, well, Ahmed, my baby, I will buy you the new iPad you want to. What will happen with the same Ahmed, same situation, same mother, same time? He will feel happy, he will feel high desire, motivated. Same person, two different levels of energy, depends on the coach. The mother in this situation, when she invests in the inner energy, she can actually upload the achievement, desire, motivation of people. All leaders for sure can play the role of coaches with their team members in order to enhance performance. Now, what is the definition of coaching? Actually, there are many definitions of coaching, but one of the most important relevant definition of coaching is unlocking the internal potential of people in order to maximize their external performance and achievement. This is given by Sir John Whitmer for the definition of coaching in 1997. Another terms of defining coaching is an art of facilitating performance in order to achieve results. Could be work-related strategy, or we can apply it on life relations as well as in life problems. So this is coaching. Now, coaching has main three pillars. It's one-to-one. We cannot apply what we call group coaching. It's not preferable. It's a one-one. It's a conversation about change, about learning. This conversation should be timely, positive, and the main idea is to support in order to help three main issues. First, to increase self-awareness of coachees. Second, to increase their self-responsibility. And by this, we increase number three, their self-independence. So always coaches have to look for these three issues. So if we got back to the series in result chain, what are the inputs? The inputs are the experiment, the experience, the professionalism of coaches. The process is coaching. The output is energy level, which is high to achieve. Once we have a high level of energy, then self-awareness increases, self-commitment increases, self-responsibility increases, and then achievement and reaching success. And there is always two types of coaching. The old method of coaching is directive type of coaching, where coaches give their experience, their solution, their advice, their opinion, their instructions. This is an old, obsolete method of coaching, which is the directive. Now, the new terminology in coaching is to be non-directive. What do? We listen to understand. We ask to help people promote their self-awareness. We summarize, we give feedback. So these are the two main ideas of coaching, either to be directive or to be non-directive. What we recommend is to get out of the old technique of coaching, which is now obsolete, the directive technique, and let's go to the non-directive technique to help people increase their awareness. And by this, we help them to achieve more of the results. Are there any proofs of the importance of coaching? Well, there are several proofs of the importance of coaching. One of the research studies were done in education to study the importance of applying coaching in schools. In 1,000 schools in the United States of America, with an average of 20 schools in each state, they choose a certain grade. Let's go, for example, the 8th grade in these schools. Each class has 25 students. The average IQ for all these students in 1,000 schools around 85. And the IQ is actually intellectual quotient, which measure always the intellectual intelligence of people. So 85 is an average class of IQ. Now, they started to recruit new teachers for this class only. And they convinced the teachers that the IQ of these students are 120, which means it actually was 85. But they told the teachers that these are very smart students. Their IQ is 120. When the teachers deal with the students with this fact in mind, actually at the end of the year, the average IQ in the whole 1,000 school was 115, which means increases from 85 into 115. So what we can conclude from this very important experimental research: when the teachers believe in their students, students achieve more grades. When you believe in your people, they will do it. When fathers, mothers believe in their daughters and sons, they will do it also. So the idea is, if you believe in people, they have a high level of energy, we can invest, explore this type of energy. Another proofs that coaching will help. It seems through all studies that made by experiments and by researchers on the importance of coaching, coachees start getting more ambitious goals. They can set now their own goals. It helps also to increase their confidence level. It increases the achievement of most people who get coaching from experimental coaches and leaders. Also, for the coach himself or herself, she or he will get more confidence in her or his ability to achieve results, to build people, to help development of results. So this is the idea of coaching. It is related to what we call the game of energy. There is the theory in the concept of psychology, it calls theory of games. Theory of games. By the way, the coaching comes from the football and sports. Now, what is the concept of the theory of games? We always play two games in life: inner game and outer game. The outer game is our performance in life, which appeals to all people dealing with us. But what about the inner game? The inner game is the level of energy nobody knows about me, but only I can feel it. Now, what coaches do is they try to invest in the inner game and the inner energy to transfer it into positive level in order to enhance and increase achievement of the external game. Let's imagine the following situation. We are now in the final World Cup. It becomes to be penalties. It is the last shot. If the player get this shot in the goal, they will win the World Cup. But if he failed to do it, they will go for the second rank. What do you think the level of pressure on this guy who will shot this final shot? It's a huge level of pressure. Does it depend on the player? Actually, they say it depends on the coach rather than on the player. An excellent coach in such situation will not choose a famous player for this final shot. Why do you think? because a famous player in this final shot, imagine the inner game. The inner game for sure is fear, worry about his future, because his past was achievement, very famous. Now this shot will threaten this past achievement. So the player will not achieve the goal for this shot. Why do you think? Because the inner game is totally negative. The past, previous history will reflect itself. But in such a case, if the coach choose unfamous player, who's ordinary player, what is the energy level, the inner level of this non-well-known player? He wants to achieve the goal. So the level of energy inside him is very high. In such a case, he will achieve the final shot. So the idea summarizing coaching is coaches interfere within the energy level when they feel that their people, their nation, their team members have a high level of low energy. They try to invest to transfer this inner game into a positive one. One player, you know, Justine Henin, she is a very famous Belgium tennis player. She says the following in one of her games: I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm afraid of myself. The mental part is very important. Nadal in Abu Dhabi tennis game, he says the following: fear is not my enemy. Losing is my enemy. Fear of losing is the enemy actually. So fear of losing. This is a problem for famous people always. Fear of losing, fear of not achieving. In coaches, what coaches do, they try to translate and transform the type of fear into a positive energy in order to enhance performance. And this is the main role of excellent coaches. And usually in psychology, they say that there are a good relation relating the whole parts of the self. Any human is composed of 4 parts: body, mind, heart, and soul. All these interact actually together. So if you just draw a triangle on a piece of paper to check the 4 levels, inside the triangle, spirit. Spirit gives the meaning of life. And then at the left side of the triangle, put the mind. The highest level of the triangle, put the heart. And down, put the body. So we have now body, mind, and heart. Body, mind, and heart. We can say that it's the TFD triangle. Minds do the thinking, T. Hearts, the feeling, F. Body, doing, do. So the idea starts always in the mind. When we have a very bad negative thoughts, this will affect our feelings of worry and fear, and the body will respond directly by being depression, not able to achieve the result. So it's the idea of the interaction of the 4 parts of the human body. Minds will affect hearts, hearts will give action to the body, body will just implement. The idea is with the level of stress. There are 2 types of hormones in the human body will interact during high level of stress. It's the adrenaline and the cortisol hormones. What happens is usually when you feel negative, when you fear something, a very high level of depression and fear, and the hormone of stress will try always to decrease this level. Body just interact. Imagine the following situation. We are in a certain room and there are 3 types of people. Small baby just creeping, and a man or woman like us, and a tiger trainer. And suddenly a tiger entered the room. What will happen? Imagine. Because for the baby, he or she does not know anything about the tigers, the mind is empty of the image or the photo of the tiger. In such a case, curiosity will let the baby approaches the tiger. This will help actually to increase also the level of hormone of stress, which is curiosity hormone, is again the cortisol and adrenaline, and we lost the baby. So the tiger trainer, the only one who will be able to deal with the situation, because he is used to deal with tigers. What is the main message in this example? We have three different people, but with three different levels of stress. Stress comes always from the mind. The perspective of the mind reflects itself in an energy level of feelings. Could be positive, could be negative. Do it is just the body. The body will only give the attitude. So in coaching, what we do is we try to transfer the fear level, the negative level of energy inside people into a positive one in order to enhance their performance. So this is the idea of coaching. But fear is always there. And in research, there are several types of fear that may actually affect the performance of people. For example, we have one of the highest is fear of death. And death is a fact. I'm hoping to meet with you in heaven, inshallah. Fear of having a serious illness. Fear of losing sincere people, mothers, fathers, daughters, sisters. Fear of dangerous animals. Fear of high places. Fear of closed spaces. Fear of dangerous, for example, earthquakes, fires, etc. Fear of failure. Fear of a future. Fear is always there. But good leaders will actually apply coaching in order to transmit the level of fear into positive in order to let people move. So to summarize this episode, coaching is a learning process through which we help people to invest in their inner level of energy to enhance their external performance. It's a conversation about change. By this value, we increase self-awareness, self-responsibility, self-commitment, then we achieve the results of development. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.